"Excuse me, what exactly are you doing here?" The voice was sharp, cold enough to cut through the quiet of First National Bank's marble lobby. Brad Mitchell, the teller at counter 3, was staring at the woman in front of him like she didn't belong. She was a black woman, mid-30s, wearing a perfectly tailored navy suit. But to Brad, she was just suspicious. "This is a private bank," he added, raising his voice so half the lobby could hear. "Not a check-cashing place. Welfare office is 3 blocks down." For a second, it felt like all the air got sucked out of the room. Keisha Thompson stood there, blinking. She wasn't sure if she'd just heard him right, or if her mind was playing tricks. But no, the stares from the lunch crowd confirmed it. Everyone heard. Brad smirked, enjoying the attention. "You people are always trying to catch fake checks or pull some kind of scam. ATM's outside if you've got an EBT card." Phones came out. You could hear the soft click of camera shutters. In the queue behind Keisha, Maya Patel, a freelance journalist, quietly started live streaming on Instagram. "Banking discrimination, happening right now at First National Downtown," she typed. Keisha didn't move. She simply slid a withdrawal slip across the counter. "I'd like to take out $25,000 from my account." Brad laughed, loud, sarcastic, like she'd told the funniest joke in the world. "25,000? Lady, that's more than some people make in a year. What kind of game you playing?" He snatched the slip without even looking at it. "Let me guess, you're going to say you're some business owner, right?" The supervisor, Susan Martinez, walked over. Her heels clicked on the floor, her expression already siding with Brad. "What's the problem?" "This woman's making a suspicious withdrawal. Claims she has an account here." Susan looked at Keisha the way a teacher might look at a student caught cheating. "Do you have proper identification?" Keisha handed over her driver's license, and with a calm so deliberate it almost looked rehearsed, a platinum First National Bank card. Brad barely glanced at it. "Fake IDs are everywhere now. These are getting better every month," he said, holding up the card like it was evidence in a trial. By now, Maya's live stream was climbing fast. Hundreds of people were watching. Comments flew in. "This is disgusting. Call the news. Where is this bank?" "I've been banking here for 6 years, Keisha said firmly. "My account number is right there." But Susan stepped closer, teaming up with Brad. "We have strict protocols for certain account types," she said, stressing those last words. The words "certain account types" hit like a bad smell in the air. The security guard, Jerome, appeared, tall, serious-looking, but his eyes told a different story. He knew exactly what this was. "Potential fraud," Susan announced, loud enough for everyone to hear. More phones lifted into the air. David Chen, the regional manager, arrived minutes later, clearly irritated that his day was being interrupted. After a quick briefing from Susan, he turned to Keisha. "Ma'am, I'm going to need employment verification, income source documentation, and a statement explaining why you need this much cash." Keisha's calm never cracked. She opened her mouth to respond, but her phone buzzed. A text from her lawyer. "Saw the live stream. Want me to step in?" She ignored it. Brad leaned back in his chair. "Self-employed? Let me guess. Consultant or entrepreneur with no real proof." The audience, both in the lobby and online, had split into 2 groups. Some whispered about bank security. Others looked visibly uncomfortable at the bias playing out in front of them. The live stream hit 7,000 viewers. Civil rights lawyers started commenting. David pressed again. "Ma'am, these procedures protect both the bank and the legitimate account holder." Keisha's eyes narrowed just slightly. Then, slowly, she reached into her leather portfolio. The room seemed to hold its breath. She pulled out a single business card and placed it on the counter. Brad read it out loud, mocking. "Keisha Thompson, President and CEO, Thompson Financial Group." He smirked. "Cute. They make these for $5 online." But David leaned closer, frowning. The name rang a bell. Keisha handed him another card. This one had the First National Bank logo, and very specific legal text. David's face went pale. "Board of Directors,
preferred shareholder voting rights, he read quietly. His voice caught. You own the bank? Keisha smiled, not wide, not smug, just knowing. I don't just sit on the board, Mr. Chen. Thompson Financial Group owns 31% of First National Corporation. We're the largest single shareholder. The silence that followed wasn't just awkward, it was historic. Brad's jaw literally dropped. Susan stepped back like the counter had burned her. Maya's livestream exploded, 15,000 viewers in seconds. Comments flew in. She owns the bank, plot twist, this is wild. Jerome finally allowed himself the smallest smile. Keisha continued, calm and precise. Today's executive meeting? That's my quarterly board review. I've been visiting branches as an ordinary customer to test your service. Congratulations, you've given me an excellent case study in discrimination. The shock was so deep, you could hear someone's coffee cup clink against the floor. David stammered, Ms. Thompson, please, let's take this to my office. No, she interrupted, her voice firm but still composed. Transparency is important in fraud investigations. Isn't that what you said? Phones caught every word. The story was now trending globally. Keisha gathered her documents, looked Brad straight in the eyes, and said, Thank you for your service. I'll be sharing my findings with the rest of the board. Then she walked away, leaving the lobby in stunned silence, except for the quiet sound of 1,000 reputations burning online. You know, sometimes life flips the script so fast it makes people's heads spin. They saw a black woman in a suit and assumed she didn't belong. But turns out, she owned the very place they tried to keep her out of. And the real twist, she wasn't even angry. She was prepared. That's the thing about people who've been underestimated all their lives. They know exactly how to make the truth hit harder than any insult ever could.